As promised, fellow pourologists, I'm going to do a step-by-step video today just for anyone who wants to get into pouring. A friend of mine, Sonia Tutt, just mentioned that she's just started. She's done a lovely pour it's on her page. I think she calls Nana Crafts on TikTok. I don't do TikTok yet, I don't know how to talk me tick, but get yourself on there. So step one, get some canvases. Step two, you've got to get it flat. The bigger the pour, the more important this is, but if it's not flat, you know already if you've done a pour, it takes days to dry. So stick some big pins in, like so. And what you're going to do, I'll show you quickly with one. You don't need to see all four, obviously. There you go, whack some pins in and do this good. This, along with the consistency, the thickness or the thinness of your paint mix, personally, from my experience, they're the only two things that matter when you're doing a pour. Everything else is like a happy accident. With these two things, the thickness of your paint and the pins in your canvas and the level, if they're not right, then you can't possibly succeed with the pour. Just get any marks off there that's picked up. So, where's he at? Spirit level. Get your spirit level. See how it looks. That's high at the back. That's high at the back. Where it's done there, absolutely bang on there. And you've got to do that with all your canvases. Otherwise, you'll do your pour, and your pour might look great. You think, oh, I love that, right, and leave it. You go and get a cup of coffee and grab a sandwich. When you come back in, if you've got it not level, the whole pour will have slipped either off the canvas or away. And if you've got any really deep areas of paint, or if the canvas sags slightly where you've got some proper weight of paint, you can get like a sort of dam of heavy paint that Okay, pourologists. So I've just put a base layer down of white paint. Just smear the paint all over. Okay, mixologists, so you got to mix your paint, and this is, in my opinion, or my experience of disasters, this is the one thing that makes the biggest difference of everything. So this is the bit you've got to get right. So I've just started using Flood Floetrol. It's like a paint thinner, I suppose you would say, but it's not really. It's a paint medium, a flow medium that makes it flow better. And a good illustration of this, I'm going to use some gold. Well, gold's the theme of this paint. So look, if you get a spoon and you put a little bit of this gold paint on it, I don't know how well you're going to see this. Oh, better keep away from the canvas. Right, there's the gold on the spoon. Look, that's with no Floetrol on. Now, if I try and wipe that gold off, I'm not having a great deal of success. As you can see, the gold remains. So, this is just to show you what the Floetrol does. I'm using a mixture of approximately 2 to 1. 2 Floetrol, 1 paint, and then once you've got that mixed, I'll show you, you add a little bit of water. I can't get it to flow properly unless I add a bit of water, and I don't like adding water because it makes it a little bit ruddy. But watch, here's 1, 2 Floetrol. Now again, you don't have to use Floetrol. A lot of people just use paint and water, and that works fine. So watch the difference though. If you now put, I've got 2 Floetrol, and I'm going to put this all over the spoon. And there's 1 gold. But watch what happens when you've got Floetrol on. It's like magic, isn't it? The paint literally just slides off the spoon. because it's a flow medium. Right, here we go, then 2 to 1, da 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 da, and I'm just going to quickly do this just to show you. It's going to flow over the canvas. It's not exactly running, is it? So, a bit of water, but you've got to use a little bit, don't use a lot, watch. Just a little bit, that was literally about a teaspoon. I don't measure the water because you can measure it to the heart's content, but the next paint that you use will be slightly different consistency, so you got to do it different anyway. So. Right, so I've got my paints mixed. That's the hard bit. I'm going to get myself like a mini cement mixer or something to mix this paint. One last step, if you're a cell freak and you really want to get cells in your pictures, then you need some kind of silicone. So I've started using this Pebeo. It's just silicone, but what I've used in the past, which works equally well, is you know, like sewing machine oil. It's that silicone based. Just get some of that, and you literally just need a drop though. So what you want to do is stop that dripping and just put a drop in and a drop in. I put 2 in the silver just because I like it. 2 in there. But what I don't do is I don't put anything in me white, my base paints, or the pillow paint. I just put it in the colours I'm using. So there you go, a bit of silicone. That with the aid of a bit of flame throwing to get the cells to form. So I've just put a base layer down of white paint. Just smear the paint all over, and I just use one of these sticks with a bit of metal in it. You want to get a glove on and just smear the white all around the edges, just so that you get a nice coating of the white on the edge of your canvas. Right, I'm happy with that. There we go. We've got paint on every inch. There we go. Right, there's no turning back now. This is the point of no return. I've done a very, very complicated diagram of what I'm going to do today. And all that is just a little bit of a guide for me to see where I'm going to pour. Like so. Maybe a little branch going up there. Bit more here. And through there. Then I think, oh, we're getting quite a few drips on there, but it doesn't matter, it'll just add to it. And then I think probably just almost like a starting branch, like that. Yeah. So that's going to go there, that's going to go there. Let's have another branch up here. And this wants to kind of continue up there like that. I think for the gold that's about it. Now the grey, I want the grey to sort of form the line up. I don't want it to be too obvious. And just connect the dots. So yeah, all I'm doing here is just adding a little bit of grey as a background colour. But what I don't want is the grey to overpower it. So really I'm putting a lot less grey than I have done previously. But down these bottom bits I don't mind the grey kind of being the thing, you know. The idea is this is going to look like sort of twigs. I mean, it might or it might not look like twigs, but there we go. So you can see that I've mainly got the grey in the bottom half, and I've mainly got the gold in the top half. Here we are back again, and now we're going to do what's called, this is the pillow. So you need something, these colours need something to ride on when you blow them. I might want to reword that. So you want to pour that all the way around your design. So all the way like this, all the way around there, all the way around, all the way around. But you can see we are using a lot of paint. We've used 4 tubs of white here, and I'll tell you what, we've only just got enough. We have literally only just got enough of this white. Here we go then. What we're going to do is lift the paint over it, like that, and then simply, once you've lifted it over, I'm just going to blow it, like that. Blow it. Alright, so lift it over. Put the paint over like that. Once you've got it over, just blow it. Blow it out, let some bits reach the edge of the canvas. Like you say. And here we didn't get it over. Didn't get it over. There we go. And don't worry if it's not perfect at this stage, because we're going to come back and blow it manually. I'm really happy with this. It's forming beautifully. There you go, see. And once you've done that, get yourself some white and fill in any areas where it's either gone muddy, like this has a little bit, so I want to get rid of that, but also there's some bare bits of canvas. So anywhere where you think could do with a bit more paint on there, just like that. This is where the dregs in the bottom come in really handy. There's more than you think in the bottom of here. So this will help it when you try and blow the last little bits out. It needs... Now give it a bit of a blow to get the air bubbles out. And you will notice that it changes quite a lot when you do this. This one looks finished. I might not actually touch that bit. Absolutely love that. So, technical device, straw buried under here. So what we're going to do is just, I like to start from the bottom and work my way up. Now if you remember from earlier on, I gave you a big tip. Take a break when you're blowing. You will fall over. So, get yourself a drink, have a break, stand as far back as you can. Look at the composition, figure out what you want, then go in. Now if you start blowing slowly, you'll see if there's any paint underneath, and you can use that paint to exaggerate the pattern. So here we are again. It's break time. Drink. I'm going to use some more of my spare because I've spotted another fairly dry bit of canvas here. Look, it's right through the middle of there. Look. So you just don't want to be blowing into an area with no paint in it. Your paint won't flow. Paint won't flow. There we go. There we go, yeah. This is fabulous. If I do say so myself. Oh dear me. Anyway, look at that. Yeah, I'm loving the pattern of this, the colour of it. It's It's exactly how I wanted it to be, and that really is down to the mixing and the planning. It took a lot of planning, this one. Yeah, I couldn't be happier right now, actually. Yeah, I'm tempted to say, like all artists do, know when to stop. I've got a couple of little bits where there's a harsh line. You see there, it's a bit of a harsh line. I'm going to mend that by blowing that out a bit. That's about it. That's the only one on the spot right now. One little bit, and again, if you stand back, you'll see that really obviously. But I think that's about it, peeps. So I'll show you this when it's dry in about a week, and then we'll varnish it. Yeah. This one's not for sale. This is a piece that was requested specifically. But to be fair, it's highly unlikely someone would want these colours for this particular room. So the best thing to do is just say to somebody, give me the colour palette that you want, tell me, you know, what sort of design you would like, and then go from there. So each piece fits each room. Right, so once you reach this stage where you're kind of a little bit more relaxed about it, you're kind of happy with most of it, it's best to start taking longer breaks, stand further back. But you do want to get rid of the air bubbles. So this is the fun bit, just with a blowtorch, just start to do that. It brings the cells out, and also bursts any bubbles in the paint, which you don't want to dry in with bubbles on it. You get a much better idea of what the finished look's going to look like, because this pulls out bits that you thought had no pattern on them. The pattern will suddenly come through. Look at the green and yellow there, you couldn't see before. That yellow there, give it a good torch and it'll pull that colour out.